The number one key to having a beautiful business online is to focus on what you're giving first. That means that's what I'm doing right here. I'm focusing on giving you something that is what I hope extremely useful. I'm focused on giving you something that I hope will help you. That's what I'm focused on, is the giving. What am I doing? I'm standing here teaching this on Facebook and YouTube Live. I'm recording it for Skillshare. I'm giving you the best experience in the shortest amount of time that I can think of that might help you. Now, this is a direct opposite of focusing on how much I will make. Now, most of the first 3 years of my business online, and I'm lucky I even have a business after, as much as I focused on how much will I make. My focus all the time for the first 3 years of my business was how much money will I make? How much respect will I get? How good will my business look? And when you focus completely on what you get, you often don't give hardly anything. What I do today is I focus relentlessly on the giving, and I trust that what I give, I will receive. When I help and make a big difference in your life and your business, you will find a way to pay me. You will find a way to make sure that you keep me here to help you. And if I'm not being helpful anymore, then you'll go somewhere else. So this helps me a lot. Focus on the power of giving first. If you're trying to make classes for Skillshare, if you're trying to make music, focus on the music you're making. Focus on the classes you're making. If you're trying to be of service to clients, focus on the service to the client. Instead of focusing on how much is the client going to pay me, how much money am I going to make off this. You do need to make money, but that's a secondary concern. The giving is primary. So I appreciate you getting started with this with me, and I'm excited to share the next 6 of these with you. Number 2, if you want to have a beautiful business online, understand the power of daily growth adding up fast. This is in direct contrast to an emphasis on scaling. I see and have been obsessed for most of my business with scaling. How do I scale my business? How do I go from $10 a month to $100 to $1,000 to $10,000 to $100,000 to $1 million? How do I scale it? I want to scale. And usually scaling is based on instant gratification. I want to do something today that'll instantly scale and be up to the next level tomorrow or the next week. And what often gets lost is the power of daily growth. For example, in investing, you don't need to make huge returns investing to make a lot of money. You need your money to consistently make a little bit more money each year, and it will add up to a lot very quickly. This is the power of compounding. What I'm going to do is show you an example of this using the calculator right now. So you might think that a little bit of growth isn't a big deal. So when I started my business, I had a very hard time even making $100 in my business. And then I didn't want to make $200. I wanted to go straight to $1,000. And as soon as I'd made $1,000 in 1 month, I wanted to go to $10,000. And as soon as I made $10,000 a month, I wanted to get up to $25,000 and up to $100,000. And I've had months where I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales now, where I've earned $80,000, $90,000 in 1 month. And you know what I've learned? Stop scaling, stop going after that huge growth, and start doing consistent growth. For example, my business in the last few months has made about let's call it $5,000 profit. It's slightly more than that. Let's call it $5,000 in profit. Now, you might think, well, you want to aim for $10,000 a month. Hit $10,000 a month. See how fast you can hit that. Well, that actually doesn't work very good, because often what I need to do to hit $10,000 a month is go to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and $9,000 first. So what I've been tempted to do and messed my business up a lot is tried to jump straight from 5 to 10 without taking the steps in between. And that often involves taking and doing things that end up later causing problems. Like, for example, all the things I did to get my Udemy sales, up to 80, 90,000, 100, 200,000 a month. Those things ended up bringing the whole system crashing down. And what you don't want to do in your business is bring the whole system down. Now, while if you're making music or production, you're doing theater or opera, then yes, you might want to bring the house down then. But for your business, you don't want to bring the house down. How do I know? I've brought the house down a bunch of times. I've had some amazing things set up and brought the house down repeatedly. So let's look at a simple example of how daily growth matters. So what I try and do on my business is add a little bit of value every day to make some slight improvements every day. So for simplicity, let's call this a 1% improvement or growth in my business on a daily basis. For example, I believe doing this tutorial video is worth about $1,000 for my business based on the data I've had before over the last several years. So I try and do one of these every day, even though I don't get the $1,000 right away. Over time, it snowballs, and the more of these I have, the more it snowballs. So check this out. You might not think, well, Jerry, sure, I'll ask you a simple question. If you have a business, can you make it 1% better every day? Can you add 1% to it? Just fix or improve a little bit on your business every single day. You might say, well, that stinks. It's going to take forever to get to a good income. So let me show you what it looks like for me to make a 1% improvement on my business every day. So let's look at that in my profit. So I'll go $5,000 and we're going to multiply by 1.01. That's a 1% addition to my business. So when I multiply that, that's $5,050. So the point is today, can I do some work that'll give me a 1% business improvement? So you might think, okay, that's not worth very much. Well, I'll do that the next day and it's up to $100. It's up to $5,100. Do that for a week at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I've made a noticeable improvement to my business in just a week. I've almost improved it close to 10%. So let's do that for another week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 2 weeks, I've now got my business up on a 10% improvement. And every day I just try and make a little 1% improvement. So let's go 2 more weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now look how much faster this is getting bigger. And this is called the power of compounding. Consistently adding value and improving your business or whatever you want to do in life, 1% each day adds massive value over the long term, gigantic value over the long term. This is 28 days of 1% per day improvement. And that's an additional $1,500 a month. And that's about what my December profit is. After making $5,000 for several months in a row, I focused on this month to make some consistent 1% improvements to my existing business. And now I've got around $6,000 in profit this month. And then, so let's look at this over another 30 days. The reason I suggest this is because looking at going from 5,000 to 10,000 a month, from 500 to 1,000 a month, from 10,000 to 20,000, these seem like big goals. But if you look at it, make a 1% improvement to your business every day. That doesn't seem like much, does it? You could change a couple of pages on your website, throw up another video course or something, and that's a 1% improvement to your existing business. So let's look at this over let's put 30 days on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's just count 15 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There, and in 2 months, the growth is up to $8,900 a month in profit. Again, with a really simple daily objective to just keep compounding on the 1%. See, what happens when you make a 1% improvement one day and you make a 1% improvement on that 1% improvement from the day before, and you keep doing that over and over, it adds up fast. So this way, in just 2 months, I don't have to take any big step in my business. I keep making little improvements and the numbers add up ridiculously fast. And then I don't set any more of these goals. I don't set a goal that I need to get to 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month. I set a goal to improve my business 1% every day, to make a little adjustment every day to my business that helps make it better. So let's do 30 more days of this. I'll just approximate. Well, there, that whole example goes down if you approximate. So I'll just keep going forward. Look how fast, one day at a time, the income continues to grow. When you do this, you see these 1% changes keep adding up faster and faster and faster now. And before you know what's happened, your income has went from $5,000 a month, or for me, this is what I expect in my business. My income I don't have to set big income goals. I keep making a 1% improvement to my business every day, and look how fast the income goes up. This is just one day at a time here, and you see after doing this for months, the income is approaching and exceeding then $100,000 a month. And that's within a year, and that's just making little 1% improvements to your business. Now, the problem is if you do this a different way and you try and take giant leaps forward, what will happen? You will do a bunch one day, you'll get disappointed, and you won't make any improvement in your business for a month. How do I know? I've done it so many times, so many different ways. And I am excited to share even more about this with you, to show you some of these other things that when you put all of these things together, you make an amazing business online. And the bigger you make your business, the more a little bit of difference adds up. So see a 1% growth, a 1% improvement when you're at $100,000 a month. In a very short time, you're over $200,000 a month. So even if you're just starting and you're just making your first $100 a month, you can do the same thing, and all of these same processes get rolling. Now, of course, the less you've got going, the faster you can make improvements. So if you're making $100 a month, you can probably make something. If you're making $100 a month, I'd have to say you could probably multiply that. You could probably make a 5% improvement on your business every day at $100 a month. And within a month or two, you should be able to be at $1,000 or so a month, making 5% improvements. So I hope this is useful for you. I hope explaining and showing you how fast a little bit of daily growth adds up will give you a simple way to aim for consistent progress and improvement each day, rather than aiming for big goals and objectives. Number 3. I think this is number 3. Yep, number 3. Avoid tricks. And I just got face planted yesterday. This is a most recent painful failure. I just face planted yesterday in the middle of my live stream doing tricks. And I've learned the hard way by messing my business up with gimmicks and tricks so many different times. Stop tricking. Tricking ain't easy. It looks easy, but it's not. By tricks, I mean gimmicks. I mean little cheap strategies. Instead of doing tricks, you want to focus on just giving good value every day. Focus on having a simple, consistent business instead of tricking. So I'll give you an example of tricking. What I did yesterday, I offered to give my Xbox and PlayStation away on my YouTube channel and my Facebook live stream. And I made this big deal out of it. And then I asked people to go sign up on Patreon. So in the process of doing that, I was kind of trying to do a little gimmick that if you go, I'll give you $10 in Bitcoin if you agree to sign up on Patreon, and if you're on Patreon, then I'll give you my Xbox or my PlayStation. Well, the problem with doing tricks is usually you're not the first person to have thought of that little gimmick. And if you're not the first person to have thought of it, you usually aren't going to get to go through with it very long without getting in trouble. And then if you saw that last example, making little 1% improvements to your business adds up to a lot. The problem is if you start tricking and gaming and doing a bunch of gimmicks, then what you'll do is these things will run into problems, and then your business, instead of compounding 1% every day, you'll do things like you'll go forward way too fast, and then your business will reset to 0, or it'll go down like what I did on Udemy. I did a bunch of gimmicks and tricks on Udemy, and it got me to one of the very top courses on Udemy. And then what happened? Eventually, it removed all my gimmicks and tricks, frustrated and annoyed so many people that they then removed me completely from Udemy. If the main thing with your business is you don't want to die, you don't want to go out of business, and that's what happens to most businesses. So I've learned the hard way, and this is the most recent lesson I just learned the hard way. Don't fool around with gimmicks and tricks in your business. Just do good work and keep doing good work. And this is so hard for me because I'm always trying to be tricking. I'm always trying to launch some new gimmick to give me an edge. And this goes straight into the next point. And now I've learned, don't fool around with a bunch of giveaways. I'm doing some premium giveaways once a month on Skillshare, and that's something that the Skillshare website itself is already doing. So if there's a website you're working on and they're doing something, then I would say that's not a trick. The Skillshare official How to Teach, they give out gift cards, they do things that then aren't a trick. On YouTube, YouTube has rules. Oh, so you might wonder, how to have this painful failure? Well, I learned yesterday, thanks to the comments on my live stream, I learned that you can't give away an Xbox or a PlayStation as a reward. You can't give away anything on YouTube without taking the time to set up official contest rules and to make all those rules explicitly clear in your channel, in your giveaway. And I didn't take time to do that, so I deleted the video. And I also learned on Patreon, you're not allowed to give things away as a chance reward. Because Patreon then is concerned that their service will be considered a lottery, in which case they would have a bunch of rules they would have to conform to, which would ruin their service. So they don't allow you to offer a reward that then has a chance or a giveaway component attached to it. So I'm grateful for Scott Duffy shared yesterday that my giveaway was against the Patreon terms, and I think Joel shared that I needed to modify my giveaway to make it fully compliant with the YouTube terms. So the problem is when you introduce tricks and gimmicks, you're introducing all these things that try and give your business an artificial advantage, which often then produces a bubble. Even if things do well, they grow too fast and go out of control and everything crashes. So I'm grateful that I've learned to stop messing around with tricks, gimmicks. Tricking ain't easy. And if other people get tricks to work in their business, that's okay. It doesn't mean I have to do it in my business. I'd prefer to just provide consistent value on a daily basis and not have all the headaches and hassle that comes with all these tricks. So if you want the giveaways now, I'm only doing them in Skillshare premium courses on my Skillshare account because that's already what Skillshare does. And I'm grateful for all the learning I've had that's allowed me to really take this point home. Stop tricking and just keep doing good work. Number 4. For having a beautiful business online, forget the competition. I used to sit there and search. If I had a page, for example, one of my first pages I had was for buying Facebook likes. And I would sit there and Google buy Facebook likes every day and check where my website's position was versus where everyone else's website position. On YouTube, I used to sit there and Google my position on my videos. Oh, where's my Facebook ads video? Where's my YouTube video? Where's this hacking video? I used to sit there and Google and YouTube search and go on suggested videos and spend time. I used to literally stalk my competitors. I used to stalk their keywords. I even followed bad advice from one of the best-selling YouTube courses on Udemy, which now is no longer on Udemy as the instructor either left or got banned, perhaps as I did. The advice in the YouTube course said to go grab your competitors' keywords and you could put those on your video to get more suggested views. That advice was actually in violation of the YouTube terms for community guidelines about tag spamming. And that actually ruined the traffic on one of my videos. I did that exact strategy on a video that was already getting lots of views, and I literally shot my own video in the gut and took half of its traffic off as soon as I made that change. When you focus on the competition or whoever you imagine to be the competition, you're wasting your valuable time and energy, just like I've done so many times, on things that aren't worth your time. It's not worth your time to be stalking and creeping on your competitors, or this is a very good thing for dating too. Don't worry about the competition. You do a good job, be a good friend, love someone, and you'll find a relationship soon enough as long as you have some healthy barriers and boundaries for yourself. I am grateful that I have learned to do this finally in my business, to stop thinking about the competition. I like what Eminem says in one of his songs. He says, I gotta go back and listen to my old records so I can keep up with my competition. And that's how I look at it. What I do, I set a simple daily goal, and it adds up to massive results. I try and make one podcast a day, one Skillshare class a day, and then put one of those videos up somewhere on YouTube and Facebook. So I basically try and make a video each day, and I try and make a podcast episode each day. And that's what I focus on, because if I'm taking time to look at your YouTube channel, but I'm not there to learn about what you have to teach, I'm there to compare you with me, then I lose all my happiness that way. You know, if you've watched Noah J 456, I think his name is, on YouTube, I've watched a bunch of his tutorial videos on gaming. And you know, at one point I had almost 100,000 subscribers. I was sitting there looking at his channel, and he has 2.5 million or something last time I checked. And I was sitting there feeling like I was no one and nothing on YouTube, which is completely disrespecting everyone who does watch my videos on YouTube and everywhere else. All the people who've thanked me for the work I do online. In looking at the competition, it doesn't bring you any joy. They say comparison is the thief of happiness, and that's true. If you want what someone else has, all you need to do is do what they do. Learn about what they do and do what they do. And today I realize I don't want what other people have. I want to do a good job with what I have. If I want a Lamborghini, all I need to do is do a good job with what I have, and I will get one someday. I don't need to covet someone else's Lamborghini and try and put them down and call them names in order to feel better about me not having one. I enjoy driving the Toyota Corolla and the Toyota RAV4 that my wife and I have for our family. I enjoy driving those. And if I'm willing to do the work to get a Lamborghini, I'll get one. If I'm not, or if I don't want it, which I don't want a Lamborghini now, so I'm not interested in doing the work to have one either. So the point is, forget about the competition. If you're on Skillshare and you're looking through courses and you're trying to teach courses, forget about looking at what all these other instructors are doing. Do what you're doing, learn. And this way, I don't have any competition. If I'm coming over to watch your courses, I'm trying to learn from what you're doing. I'm not trying to compare and size up. Well, you've got more of this than me, but you have less of that than me. This makes you better than me in this way, but not as good in another way. If I'm here watching your YouTube videos, if I'm watching and reading your book, like when I'm reading Tony Robbins' book right now, I'm learning from him. What do you have to teach me? If I'm watching your classes, what do you have to teach me? If I'm watching your videos, what do you have to teach me? I don't waste time now on the competition. I instead focus just on doing a good job with what I have. I set simple daily goals each day to help me use what I have effectively. If you want to reach the next level in your business, the fifth way to build a beautiful business is to understand failure is how you reach the next level. Failure and doing it wrong are the lessons you need to take things to the next level. Why? If you're just doing everything right, you'll go to the next level automatically. If you're stuck at something, there's some kind of failure that needs to be processed and moved through. For example, when I got banned from teaching on Udemy in 2016, which I say because it's December 29, 2016, but you'll probably watch this in 2017. When I got banned from Udemy in 2016, that was a massive failure. I lost 95% of my income overnight, and yet that failure freed me up to go to the next level. I now no longer have to depend on Udemy. I now am able to do things like, I think someday my Patreon page will be $1 million a month. Will come in on my Patreon page. Now that probably would not have been possible for me on Udemy. And I think my YouTube channel someday will have 1 million plus people that are watching every single day on it. And that probably wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't been banned on Udemy. I think on Skillshare I'll have 100 plus thousand followers on Skillshare someday based on doing good work today and repeating that over and over again. And what I've learned is that I've had so many people ask, Jerry, how do I get to the next level in my business? Or Jerry, you're successful. What did you do? I've taken a lot of steps forward in my business by messing things up. I've messed so many things up. And Anthony Robbins said the same thing in his book. He said when he talks to people about their idea of success, he says the difference usually between someone you think is successful in an area and someone who's not is that the person you think is successful has failed way more times. Like Thomas Edison saying, every failure that he had making a light bulb was a good lesson in what not to do. And eventually he was able to make a light bulb because he figured out every way to not make one. That only leaves the one way to make one. I've tried so many different things in my business that I've realized that failure is how you take a step to the next level. That if you are unwilling to fail, you're also unwilling to go to the next level. If you're unwilling to make mistakes, look stupid, mess things up, then you're not going to get to whatever next level you're trying to go to. And at the same time, it's nice to just be comfortable where you're at and go forward sometimes without messing things up. So I'm grateful that I've learned today that if I want to reach the next level, I have to be willing to fail. It's just like with my daughter. She is 1 year and 4 months old, and she's walking really well today. Do you know why? Because she's willing to fall down. She has fell down so many times walking. She's bumped her head so many times, slipped, fell on the floor, ran into the wall, tripped over things hundreds of times already. She learns to walk because she's willing to fail at walking. If you want to make a great business online, or if you want to do great with dating, I have a lot of people that say, wow, you're so lucky you have a wonderful marriage and this wonderful wife. Do you know how many times I messed up dating? Hundreds, if not thousands of times I messed up. I dated online for 7 or 8 years, mostly on, but occasionally I'd have a girlfriend and take my profile down. I dated mostly online for 8 or so years before I met my wife. It was brutal. I went on almost every kind of bad date you could imagine. And finally, you might say it's worked out. Everything passes, so any relationship will pass eventually. But I'm grateful today. I have a wonderful wife and family, and I screwed it up so many times before you might say I got it right. If you look at me and my friends, out of all the friends I know, I've messed dating up probably more than all of my friends combined. If you share stories about dating, and the same thing with my business. Most people I've ran into with my business, for every 2 failure stories they have, I have 10. Well, I did this niche wrong that didn't work. I've done 20 niches, if not 50 or 100. I fail quickly and move forward, which is nice. So I appreciate you watching this, and I hope you're enjoying this today. Number 6, for having a beautiful business online, be transparent. If I could say the biggest thing I've done right in my business is to be transparent. Being transparent means to show what you're doing, show everything you're doing. A lot of entrepreneurs and clients, customers, friends I've worked with, the transparency thing is the single most difficult for them. When I say something like, I want to see what you're doing, show everyone. Well, I can't show anyone. They're going to steal my business idea. Well, I can't just do that. Then I won't be able to make any money. The single biggest positive feedback I've got consistently is people say, Jerry, thank you for just being honest. Thank you for just showing me what you're doing. Being transparent means, look, I show you my whole business system. I'm showing you the inside of my business system. There's nothing mysterious. There's nothing hidden. There's no secret you have to get. If you watch the videos on my channel, on my YouTube channel, you take the class on my Skillshare, you watch my Facebook videos, you'll see inside everything I'm doing. And not only that, you'll see the evolution of my business over the last 2 years. You can literally learn skills worth hundreds of dollars an hour by just watching and looking through the thousands of videos I've done online in the last 2 or 3 years. And I'm grateful that I learned to be transparent from others. I learned the best businesses, the ones I really liked and trusted, were transparent. They would show me the inside of what they were doing. The opposite of this may be more easier to realize. Avoid working with anyone that's not transparent. If you won't tell me what you're doing, I don't want to go deeper into your process. So this means, for example, if I land on your squeeze page and it says, give me your email and I'll show you what you do to get what I get, my answer is no. I don't want to give you my email before you show me the inside of what you're doing. I want to see everything you're doing right up front before I make any decision to work with you at all. That's how I work online. And how did I learn that? Well, when I started trying to work online and make some money using some out-of-the-box methods, what happened to me? I got into some survey program where they took my money and gave me access to a website full of what appeared to be just useless junk. Affiliate links, basically. I got a refund. And what did I do? I joined a multi-level marketing program selling products, and no one would tell me how much money they were making. I asked the guy 2 levels above me in the pyramid scheme. I said, how much money are you making? Because, hey, if I'm going to take this seriously, I want to know how much money you're making. I've made $250,000 in profit with my business online this year. I made 70-something thousand the year before. I made 30-something thousand the year before. I lost 30 or 40 plus thousand in the first 2 years of my business online. I'm willing to tell you the income and the expenses. I'll tell you exactly what I spend money on as well. I literally do an income report every month showing the inside of my business income and expenses. That's transparency. What isn't transparency is requiring people to give you more and more before you show them anything valuable. This is a great opportunity today to be transparent, because most people that are working online are not transparent right now. They're afraid to show you what they're doing. They're not comfortable showing you the money they're making. They want to lure you into their system with your email, and then with paying for a lower price product, sign up for a subscription before you get access to the real information. There are some of these systems you could literally spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before you would be able to actually see the inside of what they were doing, at which point you might realize, oh my God, I see what they're doing now that they took $100,000 from me. They're just taking other people's money. I say avoid working with anyone who won't show you what they're doing completely. Avoid working with companies who make things mysterious. This is the internet of YouTube and Facebook. There's no reason someone can't quickly show you in a video the inside of what they're doing. You want to know what I'm doing? I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint right here. I got some images off of Canva with a one-time use license. I threw these things together really quickly. I'm recording and live streaming this with Wirecast on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm putting it on Skillshare as a free course, which then I have referral links that I can get $10 if I get a premium referral. And then whenever you're a premium student, every minute you watch on my Skillshare starting in 2017 should make me between 5 and 10 cents per minute that you actually watch. So that's what I'm doing. And I also have YouTube ads. They earn about $1,500 a month. I don't make anything off of Facebook. You can see my Patreon has, what I love about Patreon is the transparency it offers. You can see exactly how much money I'm making on Patreon every month. And that's a beautiful thing. So transparency is one of the most powerful things you can introduce into your business today, because it's based on trust. It's based on faith. It took me a lot of faith to show my very best strategies. I started doing transparency after seeing how much I liked it when other people did it with me. I showed the inside of a system I was using to make lots of money by selling Facebook likes at a guaranteed rate and then delivering them with Facebook ads. People were paying me hundreds of dollars to do that. And then when I showed everyone how I did it, there was a really positive response, but then no one wanted to order that service from me anymore now that they understood how it worked. So if you have the choice, show people how to do something for themselves instead of trying to get them to spend money with you instead. So that's what I try and do. I try and show you how to do things yourself, and then I trust that you will give me the help I need to keep being here with you each day. Finally, the number 7 way to have a beautiful business. Have fun and love what you do. Now, this might sound like one of those BS motivational things. This, to me, is one of the most difficult things I've consistently seen for other people, and I've made this mistake several times in my business. Clients, customers, friends, all kinds of people, if I had to isolate one thing that they struggle with, it's having fun and loving what they do. Because the freedom of having your own business allows you to craft and create your own world. And most of us do better with the coloring book, where we can color in between the lines. Most of us aren't even programmed to understand what wonderful, fun work sounds like. I'm here. I love doing this. I have massive passion for it. I love giving you tools and strategies that are helpful or potentially helpful for you based on what's been helpful for me. Now, this is really tricky working online, especially because there's so many things you can do. It's really easy to get sucked into doing things as a means to an end, where all the joy is taken out of it and all the work turns into doing things as a means to get something. For example, I've seen so many entrepreneurs working online. They're working really hard at something they don't enjoy. They're working really hard to impress people or to get more views. If you look at the YouTube, so many things are crafted on YouTube to just get views. Even the guys at the very top, they're making millions of dollars. You would think, well, they could just put out whatever they want, right? They're making enough money. A lot of the guys at the very top are working really hard to get every view possible. They're all using what they're doing as a means to an end, essentially, to grind and crank out the most money, the most viewers, the most subscribers to stay number one, instead of just having fun and loving what you do. Now, I'll explain to you my most recent painful failure in this regard. You take a look on my YouTube channel, and guess what? I was making a bunch of videos about League of Legends. In March 2016, I hired a coach who was a former professional player who told me exactly what I needed to do to be a better player. He said, if you want to be a great League of Legends player, you need to play at least 3 games a day. You need to practice farming for 10 minutes before you play the games. And then you just keep doing that on a daily basis. Get help, read guides, get a coach, learn how to play better, and you will become a great League of Legends player that way. And you know what I said? I don't want to do 10 minutes of farming beforehand. That's boring. I don't want to play 3 games a day. That's too much time. And I don't want to play normal games before I play ranked. And guess what? I quit playing League of Legends after that until the video with him went viral. And then I felt like I had to follow up with that. I felt like I had to make more videos. I had to capitalize on this opportunity. And my friends said, and we're telling each other, they said, why is Jerry doing this League of Legends thing? He's just trying to get views. He's not even good at the game. And it's not that he couldn't be good at the game. He doesn't enjoy playing it. Now, the more freedom you have, the more freedom you have to make really big mistakes in this specific method. I have a friend that I've worked with. I've done some videos with him, Jordan, and so many of the times he has he's talked himself into doing these things he doesn't enjoy. Now, they lots of times have great potential, they're great ideas, but the fact is he doesn't have fun actually doing them. And the amazing awareness I've seen develop in Jordan recently is he's conscious now of whether he actually wants to do that. He realizes there's all kinds of things he can do to make money online. There's all kinds of ways he could grow and scale his business, but which one does he actually enjoy doing? What activity does he really want to have fun and enjoy contributing to every day? And I've just had a glorious time messing this up with League of Legends. I did so many videos, and I didn't enjoy making so many of those videos. I only enjoyed the games mostly when I won, and I hated losing. I hated doing things wrong. And my wife kept saying, why do you keep playing League of Legends? You said you were going to stop playing it. You don't look like you have fun playing League of Legends. And what are you doing? You're playing more League of Legends. And I finally got it. I said, wow, I'm doing something that's not fun. Why do I keep doing that? So I'm grateful today. I've failed and messed things up so much that I hope I have a message to share here that's useful today. If you're watching this on Skillshare, I'm very grateful you're here, and I appreciate your time, and I hope to continue learning and teaching with you on Skillshare because I have fun. I love making these courses, and you can tell.